is someone somewhere who knows the truth. Perhaps that someone is watching. Perhaps it's you.
Are you trying to give me the double talk?
Hello everyone, this is your boy Groucho coming to you from the Broke Mohard Studios channel 33. And tonight's feature is a new series where we go undercover to check out these businesses. This is a convenience store in Florida. Can you imagine? But yes, we go to underbelly of the convenience store and see how it really is run, how they treat their employees, and what is really going on when they tell them to just lay down and take it when they get. Can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? That is crazy. Now let's check out this cheap, underhanded convenience store in that crazy state of Florida.
Convenience stores are everywhere, it seems. Nearly one on every corner. It's not that way up north, but here in Florida, there are almost 7,000 convenience stores, and that number is still growing.
That makes Florida one of the nation's biggest convenience store markets. Because of our active Florida lifestyles, we need convenience stores. They give us the freedom to shop for life's little necessities at any hour.
For people who work late, or for when you're just run out of something, convenience stores are the ultimate, well, convenience.
Because Florida has so many convenience stores, and because the stores are often open 24 hours a day, you hear a lot about convenience store safety.
But the fact of the matter is, most convenience stores have never been robbed. If we look at the entire
100%
United States,
a lie.
70% of all convenience stores have never had a robbery or incident of any kind.
But because convenience stores are open round the clock, store owners have taken many precautions to make their businesses safe for their employees, for their customers, and for themselves. Some of these precautions are voluntary, others are required by state law.
This course is just one of the steps our industry has taken to make sure that all employees understand what they can do to help deter robbery and violence, and to comply with Florida's laws regarding alcohol and tobacco sales.
Throughout this tape, you'll be given opportunities to stop and review the material in your workbook and to answer the questions at the end of each section.
When you finish this tape and the accompanying workbook, you'll have to take an exam to show that you understand the basic concepts presented here. But don't worry, you'll have a chance to ask questions and to discuss this material before your test.
As we've already told you, 70% of the convenience stores in this country have never been robbed. That's due in part to the precautions store owners have taken.
Many of these ideas are plain common sense, but you should try to keep your store in line with these guidelines, and you must always follow store policy.
A very important way to prevent robberies is to handle money properly and to make that obvious to the public. For example, with signage. Each store has set policies regarding how to use a drop safe or a time-delayed safe to ensure that there is very little cash on hand. Prison surveys show that the amount of money available is very important to robbers. Most robbers are interested if they think there's more than $50 on hand.
But when cash on hand drops below $50, less than 25% of the robbers are interested in taking the risk of staging a holdup.
That's why it's important that you follow store policy. Use the drop safe whenever the amount of cash in your register goes above your store's limit. When customers, who could be potential robbers, see you using the drop safe, and when they see that you can't make change for large bills, they realize that there is little cash on hand.
256. I can help somebody. Do you have anything smaller, sir? No, I don't. I'm sorry, I can't sell them. I can't break this.
Also, get in the habit of always asking for smaller bills.
Make the transactions as quickly as possible. Your cash drawer should be open very briefly, just long enough to make the change. And don't let anyone distract you while you've got the drawer open. The less money your customers see, the better.
If your store is a Florida lottery retailer, it will be popular with your customers, and they may want to cash in their winning tickets at your store.
Yes, 5 more. All blackjack.
Do you want 10 of them then?
Yes, please.
Always follow store policy regarding lottery tickets. At some stores, lottery winners are paid with money orders.
If your store policy means you usually don't have enough cash to pay on winning tickets, just tell your customers that.
Do not keep extra money in the register for lottery winners, even if they are regular customers or friends. Other people will notice the extra cash, and that makes your store and you a more likely victim of robbery.
You may not be involved in preparing bank deposits, but you should encourage proper money handling all the time. Cash should always be counted out of sight of all customers. After the bank deposit is ready, the money should be carried in a plain bag, not a bank pouch. And trips to the bank should be made at a variety of times, not on a set, predictable schedule.
In keeping with these ideas, you should never bring lots of personal cash to work, and you should not wear expensive jewelry. Both of these things are, unfortunately, an invitation to a robber.
To further discourage robbers, stores should have lots of light, inside and out. This store is well lit day and night. It gives the place a busy and professional look. It discourages loitering, and there's nowhere for a potential burglar to hide.
Eliminating blind spots is important. That's why signs and displays are below 3 feet or above 7 feet. It gives the employees a clear view of the parking lot, and it makes the employees clearly visible to customers and to those who pass by.
That's one of the reasons why most stores place the cash register near the door, so the employees can be seen from outside at all times. Visibility is important from a robbery prevention standpoint because burglars do not want to be seen. Also, an open, highly visible store is more inviting to customers. A clean, busy store where customers and clerks are highly visible is a safer store.
Sometimes you may be tempted to post a sign in a really good spot, like right here. But think again. That sign blocks your view of the parking lot and blocks outsiders' views of you and the store. Put the sign below the 3-foot mark. That means below waist level. Your customers can still read it, and you and they will be safer.
Likewise, anything that you hang up, like banners, needs to be above 7 feet. That means the bottom edge should be higher than the top of the door. Of course, this applies to everything, not just signs. Displays should not block the view from the cash register. Equipment or supplies should not block visibility from the outside. And bushes and trees should be kept trimmed so that they don't block your line of sight.
Visibility is important for your surveillance cameras, too. It may seem obvious, but nothing should be put in front of the camera.
If you have a camera and monitor, you need to get in the habit of checking the monitor frequently. Some stores have cameras which give employees a view of the parking lot.
And many stores have wide-angle mirrors that help you peek around a corner. Use your mirrors and cameras frequently to keep tabs on customers.
Keeping an eye on your customers is a good way to prevent robberies. If you see someone just hanging around, that person might be waiting for other customers to leave. Most stores have policies against loitering. Enforce the store rules.
If you see someone acting strangely or if you are suspicious, call the police.
How y'all doing today? Hello. You have any business here? Not really. Okay, the managers prefer if you don't hang out, so you're going to have to move along. See y'all later.
If you think someone is a threat, don't wait. Follow your store's policy to prevent a robbery.
You should be familiar with any security devices your store has. Some stores have silent alarms, for example.
You need to know how to use this equipment properly and what to do if the devices aren't working or if they are accidentally set off. Getting to know your customers and their habits is a good safety practice and a good business practice. You'll have regulars who come in around the same time day after day. Get to know them.
And be sure to greet every customer who comes into your store. When you say hello and make eye contact, you're demonstrating a friendly and professional attitude.
You'll also be helping to prevent robberies because burglars don't want to be noticed.
All right, you find everything you need, sir?
I think so. Just a bag of cigarettes is going to do.
All right, what kind, sir?
Oh, Marlboro.
Saying hello, being confident and businesslike discourages them.
Another way to discourage robberies is to move about the store. When you are alone in the store, do not stay behind the register. That makes it easy for a robber to walk in and demand cash.
If you are checking the shelves or tidying up, you can easily go back to the register when a customer has made his selections. Robbers are in a hurry. They'll be less likely to come into the store if you're not waiting behind the register.
We've talked about preventing a robbery by carefully handling cash and having little on hand, by having a clean, well-lit store, by having a friendly, professional attitude, by getting to know your regulars, and by observing all your customers.
Now it's time for you to review some of these key points in your workbook. If you have questions, ask. You need to know the answers to help maintain a safe store.
Now, when we come back, we'll talk about what to do if a robbery occurs.
You know what to do to prevent a robbery, we're going to tell you what to do if a robbery does occur.
Now remember, 70% of all convenience stores have never been robbed, and much of what you've just learned about preventing robberies will help you to deal with an actual incident.
The average robbery lasts less than 90 seconds. That's only a minute and a half. Your main concern during that minute and a half should be your safety and the safety of anyone else in the store.
Throughout this section, we'll be showing you actual robberies on videotape. Most of them are under 45 seconds, and the longest is less than a minute and a half.
In many of these instances, you'll see the clerks doing the wrong thing. They're endangering their safety and the safety of customers in the store.
What is your health and safety worth? You definitely say it's worth more than 50 bucks, wouldn't you? Yet that's all that's in the cash register, $50.
It's not worth getting hurt over. It's not worth fighting for $50.
Get out the way. Don't make me stab you, man. Open the register, then. Open up the hey, man. Do it, man. Do it, or I'll stab you, man. Do it. Do it, man.
Why you gonna do this, man?
Open the register, man. Just open the register.
Why you gonna do this, man?
Because I need the money, man. Do it. Don't make me stab you, man. Open it. Open it, man. Open it. Open it, man. I'm telling you, open it. I'm giving you a break. Open it. Open the register.
Don't stab me, man.
Open it, man. It ain't working, man. Nothing crazy. Open it, man.
Why you gonna turn? Why
open it, man.
Why don't do it, man?
Open it, man. Open it, man. I need it. Come on, man. Open it now.
I know what now. I forgot how to do it, man.
Open it, man.
I forgot how to do it,
Open the register, man.
I forgot how to do it,
man. Don't make me do this to you, man.
I forgot how to do it, man.
Come on, man.
I forgot how to do it,
man. Come on, man. Open the register.
Don't do this, man.
Open the register, man.
You got me, man. I'm losing my job, man. I'm losing my job, man.
Open the register, man.
I'm losing my job, man.
Come on, man. Open it.
I'm gonna lose my job, man.
I'm gonna kill you, man. Open the register.
Hey, man, I'm gonna lose my job, man. Please, man. Please, man. Please, man. I'm gonna lose my job, man. Hey, brother, I'm gonna lose my job, man. Come got me yesterday, man. Come back with the other guy here, man.
Open it, man.
Come back with the other guy here,
man.
Open
the register, man.
I'm gonna lose my job, man.
Open the register, man.
I'm gonna lose my job, brother.
Open it,
man.
man.
I'm gonna lose my job, man. I can't do it. I'm gonna lose my job, man.
Man, I told you. Didn't I tell you to stop, man?
If that clerk was worried about losing his job, he should have handed over the cash. For safety's sake, most stores require you to cooperate with the robber. You're supposed to hand over the money, and arguing or fighting with the robber can get you fired.
The key to your safety during a robbery is cooperation. That's why store policy usually states give the robber what he wants, the money. Give him the money quickly and he'll leave.
The sooner you can get the robber out of the store, the better. It's especially important that you do not resist the robber in any way. Don't try to talk him out of it, and don't fight.
Employees who physically resist a robber are 49 times more likely to be severely injured than those who cooperate.
Some people say you should treat a robber like your best customer. Give him fast, professional service. Remember, the sooner you get him out of the store, the better.
Be as cooperative as possible and let the robber know if something is going to happen. But don't volunteer information. If another employee is coming out of the back room, if there's a customer in the bathroom, if a car is pulling in, tell the robber. Robbers are nervous and they don't like surprises.
But don't try to bluff him. Don't lie about the safe. Don't try to hide some of the money. You'll only aggravate the robber. Anger can turn a robbery into a serious injury.
That's one reason why it's illegal for store clerks to carry weapons. A weapon isn't going to protect you, and it's going to irritate the robber. Frequently, weapons end up being used against their owners, and having a weapon on company property will get you fired.
In this example, the clerk has brought a weapon, a baseball bat, to work for his protection, and he ends up being hit with it.
Open that cash register. Move, I'm gonna f you up. Open the cash register. Open that cash register. I'm gonna kill your there. Come on. Come on. I'm gonna f you up. Open the cash register. Come on. Open that cash register. Come on. Open it. Come on.
clerk didn't stop the robbery, and he placed himself at tremendous risk. He also followed the thief out of the store. That's one of the worst things to do. He should have just called police.
Don't throw anything at a robber. That will just make him mad, and he'll probably throw back, hurting you.
Hey! Hey, come here! Get up! Get up!
Remember, the robber wants to take the cash and leave. Help him get out of the store as quickly as possible.
Here's an interesting actual robbery. In this store, the employee did everything right. She cooperated, and no one got hurt.
Oh, open the cash.
Okay.
Sorry, baby, but I sure need some paper.
You may not have heard him, but the robber said he was sorry to the clerk. He didn't want to hurt anybody. He just wanted the money.
And when he got what he wanted, he left. He was in and out in less than 45 seconds.
So remember, your safety is worth more than $50. Cooperate, don't resist in any way, and give the robber the money so he can leave quickly.
Now review the key points and answer the questions that are in your workbook. Think about what you would do if there were a robbery in your store. If you have questions, ask your supervisor or course instructor.
Coming up next, what to do after a robbery.
We've talked about preventing a robbery by following store policies for proper cash handling, with good lighting and visibility, and by demonstrating a professional, friendly attitude.
And we've shown you what to do during a robbery. Stay calm and cooperate so that the robber is out of the store as quickly as possible, usually in less than 90 seconds.
Now we're going to talk about what to do after a robbery.
First of all, let the robber leave and don't go after him. Remember this scene?
Police!
What is he going to do if he catches the guy? Chasing a robber puts you at great risk. The thief or his friends who are waiting for him could hurt you.
Or the police might think you are the robber. They could stop to get you, letting the real robber escape.
The best thing to do after a robbery is to call the police right away. In most parts of Florida, that means dialing 911. Stay calm. The police dispatcher will ask you what happened, where you are, and if anyone was hurt. Answer the questions and do not hang up until you are told to do so. Then follow your store policy and call your store manager or owner.
The police will arrive quickly, but in the meantime, you need to preserve any evidence, especially fingerprints, which might have been left behind. Do not touch anything the robber may have touched, especially the door, the counter, and the cash register, or any item he picked up.
Lock the door to the store. If there are customers with you, ask them to stay to talk to the police, but realize that you cannot force them to stay.
If customers want to leave, get their names, phone numbers, and addresses so that police can question them later.
Then let them out, again being careful not to touch the door where the robber touched it.
Let's look at another real robbery. You'll notice the robber is sort of hanging around. The clerk did a pretty good job of cooperating, but he should have done it faster. This entire scene lasts about a minute.
Give me all the money. Give me all the money. Now. Now. Now, man.
Now you're on camera, right?
So what? Give me the money.
So your picture's taken.
Give me the money now. Now, man. I'm serious, man. Give me the money now. Now, man. Hit the button. Do it. Now. I'm telling you, man. Do it. Give me the money now. Give me everything. Everything. Give more. More. Everything. Everything, man. Everything. Now. Give me. I don't want that change. I don't want that change. Give me a pack of Marlboro. Fuck.
The clerk, as well as the camera, got a good look at the robber. You'll need to be observant, but never stare. Try to remember hair color, eye color, scars, clothes.
Write down as many details as you can after you call police. How tall was the robber? Doors should be marked so that you can catch a glimpse of his height as he's leaving.
If you have an outside camera, or if you can safely watch from where you are, try to get details of the robber's getaway. Which way did he go? Walking, running, or driving?
If he had a car, write down what kind it was. Also color, dents, and if you saw any part of the license tag. That can help police too.
You and anyone else who's in the store should not discuss the robbery or the thief. Police will want to hear each person's version.
And do not discuss the robbery with anyone except police and the store manager or owner. Do not talk to reporters, customers, or friends about it. Word travels fast and it could make you a target again.
So remember, after the robbery, lock the store and call police. Then call your store manager or owner. Write down any details you can remember. Try to get the witnesses to wait for police. Be careful not to destroy evidence like fingerprints. And don't discuss the incident with anyone except police and store management.
Now review the key points and answer the questions in your workbook. Pay particular attention to your store's policies regarding reporting a crime. If you have questions, ask your supervisor or course instructor.
Now, when we come back, we're going to discuss personal safety and what to do if you are physically attacked. We've discussed how to prevent robberies, how to act during a robbery, and what to do after a robbery. Much of that will be helpful in avoiding and reporting other crimes.
We want to give you some basic information you can use at work or at home to keep yourself safe to avoid a physical attack.
Convenience store employees are rarely attacked at work. The bright lights, good visibility, and busy professional environment discourage attackers.
You get your lottery reports? I got my lottery report.
Being polite and businesslike will help avoid confrontations. An intoxicated customer or a customer who doesn't have proper ID for an alcohol or tobacco sale might try to pick a fight. Don't fight back. Simply ask the person to leave.
Don't confront shoplifters, or as we've already mentioned, thieves. Just call the police as soon as it's safe to do so.
If an argument or fight starts anywhere on store property, do not try to stop it yourself. You could be seriously hurt. Call the police and let them handle it.
And if you feel threatened by someone's lewd comments or sexual advances, report it to police and tell your supervisor. This will help prevent further problems.
And remember, if you feel suspicious or if you are worried about your safety, call police immediately. They'll do a courtesy patrol check.
Physical violence can take many forms. A growing problem for our society is sexual assault. It's a violent crime which can be directed at men or women of any age.
Most sexual assaults occur in the victim's home. The attacker sometimes enters through an unlocked door or window and assaults the woman in her home when she is alone.
An incredibly small number of attacks occur in convenience stores. In Florida, assaults in convenience stores account for less than 1/10 of 1% of the total. But we want you to be prepared.
It's important to understand that attackers are usually not looking for a special victim, just a good opportunity. Age doesn't matter to the rapist. Victims have been young babies and women over the age of 90.
Men can be victims too. All the attacker wants to do is demonstrate his power. He wants to control and humiliate his victim. Sex is not his motive. Anger is.
Your attitude can help prevent attacks. Being professional and businesslike, confident, will discourage the potential criminal. He wants a weak victim.
But what if you've done everything right and you're still his target? This is the tough part, because the experts can't agree on what to do during a sexual assault. But they do agree that if you are a victim, your main goal should be to safely get through the attack.
You'll have to think quickly, evaluate the situation, and take quick action or no action at all, depending on what you think your best chance is.
If you think someone will hear you, you can try screaming. Yell fire instead of help, but only scream if you think someone will come to your aid. Screaming may make the attacker angrier. If it does, stop yelling.
If you think you can get away and get to an area with people, you could try running. Some experts suggest gouging the attacker's eyes or kneeing him in the groin. But beware, if you do that, you need to get away fast, because if you try to hurt him, the attacker will get madder, and he could become more violent.
Remain calm. One idea is to talk to him about your family, your pets, a death in the family. If the attacker realizes that you are a real person, not just an object for him to vent his anger on, he may be reluctant to severely injure you. But if talking angers him, stop.
Unfortunately, there is no one way to deal with an attack, but knowing that sexual assault is a crime of anger may help you. You are dealing with a very angry person, and you may need to make the decision to submit. But remember, allowing the assailant to finish and leave is not the same as consenting to sex.
Police, prosecutors, and victims advocates know that submitting is a useful safety technique. And with an angry attacker, your safety should be your main concern.
After any attack, you need to quickly take action. Remember what to do after a robbery? You should take the same steps after an attack or any type of crime. Lock the doors and call police. Make sure you don't destroy any evidence. Do not douche, shower, or change your clothes. Do not disturb the crime scene in any way. The police will take you to the hospital. On the way, they will ask you to identify the attacker, what he was wearing, which way he was headed. Usually at the hospital, a victim's advocate or crisis counselor will help you, and a medical doctor will examine you. Calling police immediately is the first step to getting the medical care you need, and it's the first step to getting a violent criminal off the streets.
But the decision to prosecute will be yours. Calling the police is not the same as pressing charges. Even if you don't think you'll press charges, you must call the police to report the crime and get the help you need and deserve.
Rapes and sexual assaults rarely occur in businesses. Convenience stores, because of their good visibility and lighting, are hardly ever the location for these crimes of aggression.
But review the material in your workbook and think about how you might handle an assault at work or at home. If you have questions, discuss them with your supervisor.
When we come back...